This is Manish Nigam, and today I am here with you to explain the new lesson, that is the last lesson from book Flamingo Class 12. In this lesson, a boy, a school going boy called French, he is the main character actually, and his teacher, that is Mr. Hamill. And this story is of World War II. You know, the World War II, the Holocaust, that Germany was just trying to invade all other countries and rule. So this particular chapter is describing the Prussian and France war. Prussian army defeated the France, and now these two cities, Alsace and Lorraine, are invaded or captured or under control of Prussian army. So Prussian army has now decided that the local language, or which is French actually, will be eliminated from the syllabus, from the course, or from the other people. People will not be allowed to speak French. In place of French, the German language will be enforced, will be taught. Okay, so what happens? The boy, French, actually he is late to go to school, so he just now thinking that whether I should go to school or not, because he was assigned a task, that was to learn participle by his teacher Mr. Hamill. And he was a very careless boy. He never bothered, he never cared about his education. So he just ignored learning the chapter, learning the assignment. And the next day, when he was about to go to school, he thought of bunking the school. He thought that I should go and play with my friends, just enjoy the company of my friends, sit in the garden and all. But he decided that he would not do that thing, means he would not bunk the class, he would go to school. And while he is going to school, he saw the people, so many people there gathered in the town hall, because in the town hall there was a bulletin board. Bulletin board means notice board. And for last 2 years, so in this way you can understand that this city was under control of Prussian army for last 2 years. So for last 2 years, this bulletin board had displayed all sad and bad news. Understand? So what happened? The people gathered there and they were looking at the board, and this boy French, while he was going to school, he saw them. But as he was rushing to the school, so he did not see what was the message or what was the matter. When he reached the school, he found a totally changed atmosphere. Normally what happens? That when we go to school, as you people go to school, you see a lot of commotion, a lot of hustle and bustle there. Just students are shouting, that running here and there, making a lot of noise. But on that day, the school was like Sunday morning. There was no noise, eerie silence. Yes, gloomy silence. So this boy French was all surprised, shocked. What has happened? Why this is there? He saw that all the students were there in their classes, and he checked through the window and saw that his teacher Mr. Hamill was there in the room. Other students were also seated there. So he thought that better now I'll go and sit there. And when he opened the door, Mr. Hamill said, "Oh, French, you are here. I was just about to start the chapter, about to start the explanation. Thanks for coming. Please come and sit." It was again a surprise for this boy, because he had thought that Mr. Hamill would scold him, punish him, shout at him. But it all was just opposite. Nothing of that kind happened. When he entered into the class, he saw the back side of the class. There the elderly people, the villagers were there. They were sitting in their native uniform. And he was also amazed, French, he was also amazed to see his teacher Mr. Hamill to be in that uniform that he wore in that special occasion, especially in the prize day or in the inspection day. So his mind was all muddled. What is this happening? Why these people are behaving strange? But he sat down silently. Now the teacher, Mr. Hamill, he stood up and started asking the children about the assignment. And before the announcement of the assignment, he revealed the news that this class is going to be the last class for him, as there was an order from Berlin that by tomorrow, by the next day, the German language will be taught in the school. Mr. Hamill, who had taught in that school for last 40 years, was expelled. He had his own house there in that surrounding. He was living with his sister. And French saw Mr. Hamill's sister just packing the things. So he did not understand, oh God, what is this? That's why people gathered there near the news bulletin. So this was the order that our own language will be vanished, will be eliminated. And now he realized the importance of language. Now he understood the whole scenario, everything he understood. He realized that the backbenchers, those elderly people, why are they sitting here? They had come there to pay their tribute to Mr. Hamill, as he had served there for 40 years. Now Mr. Hamill asked French to stand up and narrate the homework. He just stammered, he could not spell or could not utter a word. And then he said that it is not your mistake, it is mistake of ours, we as well as your parents. Because the parents appointed their children in the farm or in the mills so that they can earn money. The parents were not at all interested to send their children to the school. As far as Mr. Hamill, he is also blaming himself. He said that, yeah, when I went to catch the fish, I just declared the holiday. Sometime I sent my children to go and water the plant in the garden. So I am also at mistake. I have also committed a crime, a sin. And then he said that when we are enslaved, because the city was under the control of Prussian army. So he said that when we are enslaved, language is the key to prison. Language is the key to prison. Remember, my dear children. And here he revealed, he displayed the importance of language. And he said that French language is one of the most beautiful language, most logical language, scientific language, clear language. And he praised a lot about French language. Now this boy, French, he was also feeling sorry, as it was his last day in the school, as the language, his own language, was going to be eliminated. You can imagine by your own self. Suppose our country, touch wood, Bhagwan na kare kabhi aisa ho. If we are invaded by Japan or suppose China, and we are enforced to learn Chinese or Japanese language, imagine what will be our condition. So now the boy was feeling sorry for his all misbehavior, for his all deeds that he committed or that he did in the past. He was feeling sorry. Finally, the teacher, Mr. Hamill, gave every child the notebook, and it had the French flag, and it was like the flag was just moving here and there in the class. Everyone in the class silently completed his work. Even the elderly people sitting at the back bench, they were also having their primers. They just learned something, spelled out something, uttered something. And period after period, when the class or when the day was completed, it was now the bell from the church, and it was time for the school or children to go to their home. Mr. Hamill just got up from his seat, and with a very heavy voice, in a very sad mood, in a gloomy way, in a gloomy mood, he simply tried to say something but could not utter a word. So he simply said, one thing that is there, I forgot that thing. Vive la France. Vive la France means long live France. And after that, he showed the gesture to the class that you please go away. And it was the last lesson of French language. So in this way, my dear children, the chapter is complete. I hope this video will be very helpful to you for your coming up exams. Thank you and God bless. But before I leave, I request you to please subscribe the channel. Thank you.